Welcome to YouTube channel again, and today I brought for you a pre-qualification and supplier selection subject. So most of the professionals are confused that how they have to do the due diligence before getting into the supplier selection. So just before going for the pre-qualification, this is very important for the professionals. They should find suppliers which are appear to be able to meet their defined needs. So there are a variety of techniques which can be used to prepare the list of potential suppliers, including such as previous knowledge. If you have any knowledge about the industry or the market, or any recommendation you have from someone or some friends, you could have the internal research. You can go through the Google and find out the list of suppliers, and you can go for the marketing publication if there is any market publication done by the supplier. So you can go through it and you can investigate more and spend time. And any trade show in your area or territory, so you can participate and you can get more information about the suppliers. Networking is also playing a vital role in selecting the suppliers before going into the contract, or it will help you to have the pre-qualification of the suppliers. In some sectors, like in European Union or a UK public sector, which is very legal requirement to advertise a contract opportunity on the suitable website. So this is also a challenge for the procurement department, how to do the pre-qualifications. In some industries, they are already having the pre-qualification questionnaires where the procurement officer will go one by one and make sure that he will select the right supplier for the organization. So pre-qualification questionnaire seeks to answer some kind of questions. We could say, is the supplier have financially stable or not, or they have any turbulence in their finance? Does the suppliers have the relevant or required experience and credential to carry out the contract? Is the supplier is capable or he has capacity to carry out the contract or not, or they can trust or not? So does the supplier have the capacity, control and commitment to manage the contract? This is very important to understand. Does the supplier follow ethical or sustainable practice? To support this pre-questionnaire or pre-qualification of the suppliers, this is very important. A model which we have to discuss here is the Carter 10 Cs. So Carter 10 Cs basically is called the contractor evaluation model as well in the procurement industry. So pre-qualification questionnaires actually aiming to cover the Carter 10 C of the supplier pre-qualification, which is a theory basically used by the procurement department to choose the suitable suppliers. We discuss about the Carter 10 C, which will give you more insight information where you can find out the reasons before going for the pre-qualification of the supplier. Because this is the big responsibility of the procurement department or sourcing manager, that he makes sure that all the pre-qualification has been done correctly with due diligence. In that case, he will be able to make sure that he is getting the right supplier with them on board. So let's discuss the Carter's 10 C. Number one is competency. Does the supplier have the required skills? Is he has expertise to carry out the contract or not? Is the supplier is able to deliver the contract or not? So competence is very important, and it is required for the long term the business relation with the supplier. Number two is the capacity. Does the supplier have the available space, resources or knowledge to be able to deliver the contract or not? Does the supplier have the capacity or space or resources or knowledge to deliver the contract or not? So it is very important for the procurement department to make sure that they are getting the supplier from the same domain and they will not go for the other industry. Let's take an example to understand that if I'm in the medical field, I'm looking for the pacemaker or some other kind of the cardiac product. So I would not go for the production of the other industry, and like say the food and FMCG or other industry. So definitely I will look for the supplier who are capable and who has experience in the same domain and is able to provide the best and high quality of the product. Number three is commitment. This is very important. The supplier is committed to the relationship or delivering the contract or not. Is he regarding or respecting your relationship with buyer and supplier relationship? We will discuss later in another chapter. So it will be a very interesting topic. So we'll discuss later. So 4 is control. Does the supplier have quality and process check in the place to manage the contract or not? let's say you are giving the contract to the subcontractor or your tire supplier one, then you discover that they don't have any control on the quality and they don't have any check, and they're just trying to close the contract. So this will lead to the deteriorate your relation with your client, and the product will be rejected, and this will be a burden for the organization. So fifth is the cash. Is the supplier in suitable financial position or not, which is very important. If the financial situation is very bad, might be if you have the collaborative relation with the suppliers, then in that case you can support them and you can help them to get rid of all this financial crisis. But before going to the new suppliers, then you have to make sure that this supplier has the capacity or not. Does he has the cash or not available? If the financial position is weak, then it is very quite difficult that he will be failed to supply the contract or needs, and this will be end of the loss to the buyer or the organization who is going in tie up with this supplier. So 6 is cost. So what is the total cost of the contract? If this is awarded to supplier, this question raised: is it ethical, environmental friendly, or does it have a good reputation? And this is also very important for the buyer or the procurement department to make sure that they are getting the ethical or the sustainable company that who will producing the product without any compromising or any you can say the bad reputation. So some of the companies have the bad reputation and they are providing products but in good quality, but although they are losing a lot of things due to their bad reputation in the market. So bad reputation will end up the loss as well. So it's not suggested to go for such kind of the organization. 7th is consistency. How is the consistency of the suppliers? Will the supplier to be able to deliver the consistent product or services that meet the required specification? Let's say you are going to tie up with the supplier, so make sure that before in the tie up you will go through the investigation. You can do the surprise visit their facilities, or you can visit them again and again, or you can search them. You can do the market analysis about the supplier. So if the supplier is consistent to supply this product or not. If they have a financial issue, and they are having the poor quality check and they are not they doesn't have the capacity to do the job, so it will be alarming that you will going for this kind of the suppliers. So make sure that before going with such kind of suppliers, check the suppliers are able to deliver the consistent product or service what you're looking for. If not, then you have to say goodbye to him. 8 is culture. Does a supplier fit with the buying organization or not? This is a good question which raised always in my mind. The question raised: does the supplier fit with the buying organization or not? Are the technology system compatible, or the organization in agreement culturally, and do the CSR in quality and cost policies align? So if all of these are due to the different culture, it will be also a hectic for the buyer. And if they are in the distance, this will be also hectic for the buyer, that he will be have a lot of arguments in claiming the product or in negotiating the things. So better to make sure that you belongs to the same culture. If not, then is compatible to your culture before you're going to select that supplier. 9 is clean. Does the supplier act in an environmental friendly way or not? If they are producing the product and they are being a reason for the pollution, and they are destroying their chemical in the ocean or destroying the ocean life or this kind of things, make sure that you have to visit the facility of the suppliers, check them, give the surprise visit or do some investigation. Or in the market there are many agencies who will work for you to get the information about the suppliers. So make sure that this supplier is clean and act in environmentally friendly. Is this it's very important for the buying organization, and they have to make sure that does the suppliers have the required standard or accreditation or not. If they are ISO certified, or they have the product FDA or CE certification or not. So then last but not least is the communication. So make sure that they are replying effectively and they are responding fast, they are good in communication and without distortion in any time bound manner. So make sure that they are in good communication. So in sense, communication is key to play an important role for achieving the lot of targets. So make sure that they are best in answering and they will respond promptly. So guys, these are the Carter's tenses which are similar and fit to the questionnaires or pre-qualification questionnaires. And make sure that before getting into the contract or the procurement agreement with any suppliers, so go through these tenses and ensure that they are falling in these all tenses and they fulfill the requirements. So I hope this chapter will help you to do the pre-qualification. Until, take care, goodbye.